1st. That's the day the Atlantic hurricane season officially starts. Here to talk about what it looks like for 2022 is our newly named Chief Meteorologist, Mark Dixon.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So we have a lot of questions about hurricane season, but I want to start with what I just said, newly named Chief Meteorologist. That's a big deal. And I think that you're leading this weather department that is the most respected in Connecticut. What's it like? You've been here. You're about to start your 20th year here at WFSB.
July 10th is my anniversary.
And what's it like to toss to you as Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon?
It's still very surreal. The words can't come out of my mouth, actually, when I can't say it yet. So it's bizarre to hear that kind of introduction, and it comes kind of with a heavy weight, not a burden, but like to look at the history of this department and the long-standing chiefs, and you know, Bruce DePriest, his shoes are big to fill, and you know, he's a neighbor, so we're still in contact, and we're actually gathering for dinner soon.
And all you got to do is be the chief for like another 3 decades, and you'll be right there with Bruce.
I mean, yeah, 40 some odd years. Yeah, not sure that's in the cards for me,
or any of us. Right? It's incredible what Bruce did. But you came to Connecticut by way of Oklahoma.
Yes.
And you've been forecasting the weather all over the place for a long time.
Yeah. So I was born in Iowa, but raised in Oklahoma, and heart of Tornado Alley. So I declared my major when I was 8 years old. So I started out interning in high school at a TV station in Tulsa, my hometown, and then later started my on-air career there, and then quick stop in Little Rock, and then I've been here ever since. So the diversity of Connecticut's weather is amazing because we get all 4 seasons. I wish they were equal in length. That winter one lasts a little bit longer than the rest, but you know, we get the extreme cold, the extreme heat, the nor'easters, the blizzards, the occasional tornado, and of course tropical systems. All
right, well, let's turn to that. Let's start just with the summer outlook, because I know that's one of the things everybody wants to know. Mark, can I go to the beach this summer? So
I mean, Memorial Day weekend, if that's an indication,
you can't beat it, right?
No.
So tell us what we're looking at for the summer.
All right, so NOAA, of course, puts out, they do 6 to 10 day outlooks, outlooks farther than that. This is their seasonal outlook, so they are calling for a warmer than normal season for us here in New England. So that is certainly something that you know, bodes well for those who enjoy that summer warmth. When it comes to precipitation, it looks a little bit wetter than normal, but a low-end threshold on that. So otherwise, equal chances of seeing a wetter or drier summer here across southern New England.
And of course, that's just you know, some broad predictions.
Very
but
broad,
something for people to know about them. And I know because most of the time when I need a forecast from you, it involves golfing, and I'll try to get you to pin down a day like 2 weeks out so I can plan a tee time. And it's just so hard to do, and they're looking out at the entire summer, but warmer, maybe not, you know, not worrying about a drought, maybe?
Well, so we actually have kind of drought conditions going into eastern Connecticut, abnormally dry, kind of on the threshold of drought conditions. So that's something that we'll have to monitor. We could use some rain. The month of May was pretty dry, so we will certainly take what we can get, just hopefully maybe not on weekends.
Yeah, but, it's all week long. It can rain all at once, Mark. I'm just fine with that.
And I think a lot of, just with regard to also trying to pin down a forecast weeks out, like, you know, the next 7 to 10 days, obviously challenging, but then we have to keep in mind that Connecticut's one of the smallest states in the country, and we make it the size of your TV screen. So, you know, point to point, like 100 miles of coastline, we've got the Connecticut River Valley, the Litchfield Hills in northeast Connecticut. So we have all these little microclimates, and you know, it's not about what county necessarily you're in, it's what town, and there's 169 of them. So we are always trying to bring our A game and be the most precise and give the most accurate information.
Yeah, which is certainly a tough job. Even, like you said, even in a small state like Connecticut, it varies just so much. I want to talk hurricanes. I know you have a graphic for us on the hurricane, what's coming up in hurricane season, which we're now in.
Yeah, so NOAA, they came out with their outlook in May, and this is for the hurricane season that officially, as you mentioned, kicked off earlier, just several days ago, and runs through the end of November. So there are a lot of contributing factors on a global scale, from La Nina to monsoons in Africa that can kind of dictate what happens across the Atlantic basin. So this includes not only the Atlantic, but the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. So the average is 14 tropical storms, and then of those, 7 becoming hurricanes, and of those, 3 becoming major, and majors category 3, 111-mile-an-hour winds or stronger. So that's the average. The forecast well above that. In fact, the lower threshold of the forecast is the average for the number of tropical storms that would be named. So 14 to 21, and then hurricanes of those 6 to 10, and of the 6 to 10, 3 to 6 of them becoming major hurricanes. So, you know, it's not necessarily about How many form? It's more or less, how many touch land, what landmass, and at what strength or, what intensity.
Right. Running around in the Atlantic, we don't care about. Obviously, we care about here. I've told you before, I'm always amazed that we can see a system, off the Dominican and say in 6 days it might be in Long Island Sound. That to me is such amazing science. But I think we have some video of Hurricane Gloria. That's the last hurricane that actually reached Connecticut as a hurricane. Why has it been so long? Is there something that you can point to meteorologically or where we are, why there hasn't been a storm like this since 1985?
Well, so there are lots of, again, global factors that contribute to a situation like this, but also, as I just mentioned, it doesn't necessarily have to hit Connecticut. We've had Isaias, we've had Superstorm Sandy, we've had Irene, Elsa, a lot of these different systems that could either pass near, offshore, the center passes over the lower Hudson Valley, goes over Rhode Island, and trying to pinpoint exactly, again, our coastline to qualify as a Connecticut landfall. And it's a pretty small target for a tropical system to hit. So it's hard to say that we're overdue. I mean, we definitely, have been impacted by many systems over the course of the past several years and decades.
And certainly even, we talked to Isaias for months because of all the power outages and all the effects, and that's not even a hurricane hitting. So certainly it's something to watch, and with those numbers, of course, we don't know where they may go, but that many hurricanes out there, we'll be watching them all summer.
Yeah, so we've got a list real quick if we have time. The list of names, of course. The World Meteorological Organization comes up with the list, starting this year with a boy's name, alternating gender, going down the alphabet, and this is the list of 21 names that will be used for this season. If we end up going past 21 names, then there will be an alternate list that we use. We will no longer be going into the Greek alphabet.
Well, good, no more Greek alphabet. And as someone who spent 2 weeks trying to learn how to say Isaias,
that was a tough
I
one.
did a quick scan there. I think I'm good.
You're good?
Mark Dixon, the new chief meteorologist, thank you for being with us here on CT22. Hopefully you'll be back.
Oh, for sure.